Welcome to Chanel. The latest Ukrainian forces clung to their positions in Bakhmut on Sunday, fiercely resisting a Russian push to encircle the city in the eastern Donetsk region and prolonging a fight that has become a symbol of Ukraine's battlefield defiance. Ukrainian officials have described their grip on Bakhmut, a small industrial city, as increasingly tenuous in recent days, suggesting they may need to withdraw to prevent their troops from being trapped by Russian fighters advancing on three sides. The fate of the city, which military experts say holds little strategic value, assumes outsize importance a year into President Vladimir Putin's full-scale war, as Ukraine prepares for what is likely to be a grueling spring offensive and Western leaders scramble to deliver arms and ammunition they hope will tip the scales in its favor. The months of brutal fighting in Bakhmut, resulting in thousands of dead and wounded on each side, underscores the remote likelihood of any near-term end to a conflict that has overturned decades of relative stability in Europe and intensified strains on the global economy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, speaking in a nightly video address on Sunday, acknowledged the battlefield difficulties in Ukraine's embattled east and honored troops fighting there. "It is one of the toughest battles," he said, "painful and challenging." While Zelensky has called for Russian forces to be repelled from every inch of his country, Putin has shown no willingness to back away from his own military aims. The Ukrainian military's general staff said that Russia's invading force continued to advance in the direction of Bakhmut on Sunday, citing Russia's shelling of the city and surrounding villages. Ukrainian soldiers, facing barrages of what they describe as random artillery, mortar and rocket strikes from nearby Russian troops, are operating mostly from trenches in and around Bakhmut and have few remaining routes toward safer ground. Ukrainian military personnel who have been in the Bakhmut area in recent days said that Russian fighters have already secured positions in certain parts of the city. Defending forces remain in control of others. The city, which Russians call by its Soviet Russian name, Artyomsk, is now almost completely destroyed, and most of its citizens, from a pre-war population of 70,000, have fled. Russian forces, led by the Wagner mercenary group, have waged a months-long onslaught. If the Ukrainians retreat, they will fall back just a few kilometers to long-planned defensive positions. Nonetheless, the fight for the city has taken on enormous symbolic value in Kyiv and Moscow, with the Wagner chief, Yevgeny Prigozhin, seeking to claim a victory for the Kremlin after Russia's regular military suffered a string of defeats, first in its attempt to capture Kyiv, and then in Ukrainian counter-offensives in the northeast Kharkiv and southern Kherson regions. Prigozhin has sent wave after wave of fighters, many of them convicted criminals recruited directly to the battlefield from prison, into Bakhmut, taking enormous casualties to make relatively tiny territorial gains. Zelensky, in turn, has elevated the importance of Bakhmut, calling it the fortress of our morale, and celebrating the troops defending it. In December, the Ukrainian leader made a rare frontline visit to Bakhmut to meet with troops. When he visited Washington, he gave U.S. lawmakers a flag from the city. Among Ukrainians, Bakhmut stands, has become a rallying cry. For Putin, capturing Bakhmut would deliver a needed victory and illustrate progress toward imposing Kremlin control in 4 eastern regions that the Russian leader has illegally declared as annexed. The Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, has recently described the effort to seize 4 regions, Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson, as a matter of upholding the Russian constitution, which was amended to declare the Ukrainian territory as belonging to Russia. On Friday, Russian occupation officials formally declared Melitopol to be the new regional capital of Zaporizhia, a sign not only of Russia's stubborn annexation claims but also of its failure to capture the actual regional capital, Zaporizhia city, which lies just east of Dnieper River.